Yeah, welcome back to Fox 5's On the Hill live this Sunday morning. Disinformation and bias, those have become increasing concerns for people in the media universe that we are all now plugged into these days. But how do you know what you're reading is opinion or whether or not it's fact? Joining us this morning is Vanessa Otero. She started a company called Ad Fontes that identifies media bias and rates outlets so readers can learn more about the source of their news. Vanessa, first of all, thanks for joining us this morning. How did you first decide to get into this line of work? Because it seems like a monumental task. It is,
but in the run-up to the 2016 election, everybody remembers a sort of level of vitriol during the Hillary-Trump election. I noticed that my friends and family were sharing really biased sources of information to try to convince each other of what was right. So I created an infographic plotting news sources because I wanted to have this sort of discussion about how some news sources are better, worse, left and right, and extremely so.
One of the arguments we hear sometimes is, one person's bias is another person's editorial direction. So where do you draw the line? What's the difference between, a publication or a news outlet that comes to news from a conservative viewpoint to a liberal viewpoint, and how is that different from outright bias?
Well, there's nothing inherently wrong with left or right-leaning perspectives or moral foundations, but it's not as simple as news versus opinion. Now, it's not a binary.
All right. Now, on your screen, what might look like an outline of Mount Everest is, in fact, just a wide source of media outlets here. I know it's maybe a little bit hard to see, but you zoom in on there. What are we looking at there?
So this is our famous media bias chart, and from top to bottom, it's rating news sources for overall reliability and left to right political bias. So as you can see, towards the top, there are things that are highly reliable, fact reporting and analysis, but there's a lot of stuff in the middle that's analysis or opinion, and that's less like news. Then you have stuff that's a little bit worse than opinion. You have things that are selective, propagandistic. Then you get into things that people typically call misinformation or disinformation. And then you've got the things that are left and right, and more extremely so.
And your rating factors here, how do you go about assigning each one of these categories to a designation?
Well, so it's not just one person or a handful of people. We actually have a team of nearly 70 analysts, and they're politically balanced from left, right, and center. So what they do to rate content is look at articles and episodes for these things like under reliability. It says there veracity, that how true something is, the expression, the density of facts that are in there, reporting effort.
One of the conversations I get into sometimes with people is when they talk to me about the media, and they say the media this or the media this. If you look at that graph that you had there, you've got some reputable news organizations filled in with a lot of bloggers, some people who just kind of on their own out there. How do you separate that out, though? And is that fair to be lumping in, say, the Associated Press with some left-wing blogger or some right-wing blogger and try to find some equality through there?
Well, the reality is that people get their news from both traditional news sources and what we call news-like information sources. And that can be everything from podcasts to YouTube channels to TV shows. So we rate anything that's news and news-like information.
But, the big complication in trying to kind of, separate all this out is also social media these days. A lot of people are getting streams of information, some of it true, a lot of it not sometimes, from social media. So how does that muddy up the waters?
Well, for the first time, it's a recent phenomenon that we have tens of thousands of news and information sources. We can remember times where there were a handful of network outlets and a handful of newspapers. That's just not the case anymore. So when people are coming across so much content, they have to be able to discern it for themselves. That's why teachers use our tools for media literacy in schools to be able to discern that.
One of my old journalism professors, Herb Jackson, used to say that people sometimes will go to news sources not for information but for affirmation. They want to see their own opinions reflected back at them. So I want to put up some of these headlines here. essentially, these are headlines about the same stories, but they come from very different directions. Top one from Reuters, down there's from Breitbart, which is a conservative publication. They're talking about the same thing, but in very different ways.
Totally. I mean, that Reuters says U.S. Supreme Court rejects affirmative action in university admissions. That's a fact reporting, minimally biased article, says it as about straightforwardly as you can. And then you've got a more to the right publication, Breitbart, focusing on Trump being saying how great it is for America, introducing bias.
There used to be a time where people would say, oh, well, I'll watch, liberal media and I'll watch conservative media and I'll figure out the middle. Does that necessarily hold anymore?
I mean, most folks should try and get their news from multiple different perspectives, because it's really easy if you're focusing on just one.
And throw in a word for local news, because it winds up very in the middle of your bar graph there as well, too.
It does. I love local news, huge fan of local news, because the format lends itself to just reporting facts.
We're out of time. Vanessa Otero, we thank you so much for joining us live this Sunday morning, and we're going to have you back real soon, okay?
Thank you.